Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take some of your favorite pop culture icons from video games to movies to TV shows and comic books, and I help explain the lore that makes it interesting, that makes you want to know what's going on. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Assassin's Creed is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and because of that, I have read their incredible comic book run by Titans Comics. Now, just so you know what's going on with this storyline, Assassin's Creed Origins has a DLC known as the Hidden Ones, and Aya, the character that is in Origins going into the Hidden Ones, also has a comic book. So the combination of Assassin's Creed Origins, the Hidden Ones DLC, and the comic book will tell you how Aya decided to create the Brotherhood. And today, I'm going to bring you that storyline. Stay your blade from the flesh of innocence. Hide in plain sight. Never compromise the Brotherhood. By these three tenets do the members of the Assassin Order live their lives. But where do these rules come from? What were the order of events that would bring people to create rules who, by definition, fight against a group that is trying to impose rules upon the world itself? While the assassins Bayek and Aya were not the first to kill for the sake of protecting mankind, they were the first to form a group that would make it their goal to keep mankind free from tyrannical rule. Bayek's history was well documented in the campaign of Assassin's Creed Origins. Somewhat lesser known is the history of his wife, Aya. Born in Alexandria in 89 BCE, Aya was of both Greek and Egyptian descent. While she always had the goal of becoming a scholar and settling in Alexandria, her parents sent her to live with her aunt in the town of Siwa at a young age. There she met Bayek, whose father was the protector of the village and the defender of Egypt known as the Magi. Becoming close, Bayek and Aya started a relationship together, and eventually the two moved into the desert with Bayek's father, who began to train him in the ways of the Magi. After an assassin, not one of the Order, was sent by the Order of the Ancients, the precursors to the Templars and big fans of animal names, killed Bayek's father, both Bayek and Aya hunted him down and killed him. It was around this time that Aya discovered that she was pregnant with his child, and the two settled in Siwa with their son Kimu. After Bayek and Kimu were kidnapped by the Order of the Ancients, Bayek was ordered to open up the vault of the Isu that lay hidden within Siwa. When Kimu was slain in the resulting fight, his father vowed vengeance on all of those that were responsible that day. Aya cannot deal with the loss of her son, and her husband's revenge fueled rage. So she leaves, returning to her place of birth, Alexandria. Once there, Aya continued her studies, learning various language, history, and mathematics. Yet hell hath no fury like a mother's broken heart, and Aya plotted to assassinate the members of Pharaoh Ptolemy's 13th inner circle, believing them to be partly responsible for her son's death. Such a brilliant and driven woman quickly caught the notice of Cleopatra, future ruler of Egypt. The two became friends and allies, with Aya acting as Cleopatra's agent. Cleopatra even gifted Aya one of the first hidden blades that had been used by an unaffiliated assassin named Darius to assassinate King Xerxes. After discovering the members of the Order of Ancients within Alexandria, Aya successfully managed to assassinate two of them, bringing notice to her and causing her to be wanted. Luckily, she was not without allies and went into hiding. Eventually, she was reunited with Bayek, and the two began to take out the members of the Order, fueled by their vow of revenge. When they discovered who they believed to be the last member of the Order, Aya gave Bayek the hidden blade so that he could finish her quest. With their revenge complete, the two hoped for a life of peace. Sadly, it was not to be. Working alongside Cleopatra, Aya and Bayek discovered the Order of Ancients was much larger than they realized, and they sought to control all of Egypt. Allying himself with Cleopatra, Bayek moved out to assassinate their new targets, while Aya was sent out to the Aegean Sea. There she would help save and ally Cleopatra with General Pompey, who was fleeing Rome and Julius Caesar during the Roman Civil War. While Bayek continued to hunt the members of the Order, Aya worked alongside Cleopatra and her allies to help defend Egypt from both land and sea. Unfortunately, General Pompey was discovered murdered by decapitation. Desperate to remain in control of her kingdom, Cleopatra reached out and allied herself with Julius Caesar. Alongside Cleopatra, Aya and Bayek defended Egypt while also hunting members of the Order. While Cleopatra quickly regained control of her kingdom, it was discovered that the people within her court were actually members of the Order of the Ancients, and Aya and Bayek had been helping their enemies all along. It was then that Aya and Bayek formed the Hidden Ones, a group who would work from the shadows to stop those who would take away mankind's free will. It was at this time that Aya parted ways with her husband, seeking to set up a Hidden One cell in Rome. While there, she allied herself with Brutus and Gaius Callius Longinus, and with the goal of assassinating Julius Caesar, Aya recruited 40 members of the Roman Senate into the Hidden Ones. On the 15th of March, she infiltrated the Senate and stabbed Caesar in the back, and was quickly followed by all of her Hidden One senators. However, this didn't create the effect that was planned. Mark Antony used his influence to turn Caesar's former allies and supporters against the Hidden Ones, hunting them down and forcing them to flee the city. At this time, Aya renounced her old life and her love for Bayek, deciding to dedicate herself fully to their cause, and she renamed herself Amunet, which is the mythical goddess of mystery. Amunet would then return to Egypt to aid Bayek against the Romans in Sinai. There, she saves him from death and rescues her other Hidden Ones, and she informs him that their actions have been loud and obvious, that stories of their exploits have reached even Rome. She also informs him that one of their allies, a rebel leader named Amunet, was using his rebels to trick the Roman legion into massacring villages. This causes anger amongst the locals and gains him more support for his army. After Amunet is assassinated, the remaining Hidden Ones decided to form and adopt an actual creed to dictate how the assassins should act moving forward, so that none after them would use the lives of innocents to achieve their goals. After this, Amunet and Bayek part ways once again, with Amunet returning to Rome. 8 years later, she would return once again to Egypt to confront Cleopatra, who was fighting a losing war and risking the lives of all of the Egyptians. With the armies of Rome at the palace doors, Amunet slipped inside the palace of Alexandria, demanding that Cleopatra resign herself to her fate and save the lives of her people. Cleopatra agreed, asking only that Amunet take her son Caesarion and train him in the ways of the Hidden Ones. With their bargain made, Amunet gave Cleopatra a vial of poison and took the young Caesarion and waved goodbye to her once friend and ruler. After Cleopatra's suicide, the last we see of Amunet is her boarding a ship with her new charge and sailing into history. Amunet became a greatly respected assassin, with legends speaking of her killing Cleopatra with a poisonous serpent. After her death, her body was laid to rest in Egypt with her former husband, hopefully finding peace in death that the two could not enjoy in life. And there you have it, the conclusion to our Assassin's Creed How the Brotherhood Was Created video. That title is way too long, and I'm going to have to create something else by the time this video goes live. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below what other Assassin's Creed mysteries you want to know about. Like, what else are you curious about? How did it start in the Assassin's Creed universe? What is in timeline? What is in the continuity? Let me know, and I will continue to make videos about Assassin's Creed. Also, what other games are you guys really fascinated about? We just did the Call of Duty Zombies comic books, and we're trying to do more stuff to involve Fallout, which is coming out very soon. But so we got a lot on our plate to try and work in more gaming stuff here. But for those of you guys who are sticking this out with us and watching these videos as we transition to more overarching pop culture, thank you so much. And I hope you now see my vision of just comic books and not cutting out the comic books, but also bringing you podcasts, TV shows, and video games. And like I said, just let me know what else you guys want in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time right here.